Hey everyone, welcome back. I want to tell you about the day I closed the biggest deal of my career, a $2.3 million contract that would make me the top producer in my company's history. That same day, my father called asking if I could help him with his property tax bill, $1,200. I told him I was too busy and hung up. I was 31, wealthy, and convinced that money equaled success. This is about what happens when prosperity makes you forget where you came from and how losing everything taught me what really matters. If you've ever measured your worth by your bank account, this message is for you. Growing up in a small house in Ohio, money was always tight. My dad worked construction, my mom cleaned houses. We weren't poor, but I watched my parents stress over every unexpected expense and promised myself I'd never live that way. I worked 3 jobs through college, graduated with a finance degree and 0 debt, landed a prestigious investment firm in New York, and I was good, really good. Within 5 years, I was managing multi-million-dollar portfolios, driving a BMW, living in a luxury apartment in Manhattan. My income went from $45,000 to over $500,000 annually. I bought designer clothes, ate at exclusive restaurants, vacationed in places I couldn't pronounce as a kid. Every promotion felt like proof that I'd made it, that I was somebody. My parents were proud, but somewhere along the way, their calls became interruptions. Their simple lives seemed small compared to mine. I sent them money occasionally, generous amounts that made me feel like a good son, without requiring much actual involvement. What I didn't realize was that I was measuring human value by financial status, even when it came to my own father. The day I closed the $2.3 million Williamson deal was the pinnacle of my career. Partners I'd admired for years shook my hand. I was calculating my commission, around $180,000, when my phone rang. Dad, "Hey son, I know you're busy, but property taxes came due. We're a little short this month with your mom's medication. Could you possibly loan us $1,200? $1,200. I'd spent more than that on dinner the previous week. But I felt annoyed. Dad, I'm in the middle of something huge here. Can't this wait? Well, the deadline is Friday, and there's a penalty if... Look, I really can't deal with this right now. I'll call you back later. I hung up and immediately forgot about it. Went out celebrating that night. Spent $3,000 without thinking twice. 2 weeks later, my mom called. Dad had taken out a payday loan to cover the taxes. The interest rate was 400% APR. They were trapped in a debt cycle that would cost them thousands. Why didn't he just wait for me to call back? I said, defensive. He did wait, sweetheart, Mom said quietly. He called 4 times. You never called back. The guilt hit hard, but I rationalized it away. I was busy, important. I'd sent them $5,000 at Christmas. I'll send money to pay off the loan, I said. That would help, she said. But Michael, when's the last time you actually talked to your father? I couldn't remember. 6 months later, the market crashed. The company I worked for had made risky investments that went catastrophically wrong. The company was bankrupt. I lost my job, then my savings, which I'd invested heavily in company stock, then my apartment. Within 90 days, I went from wealthy to essentially broke. The BMW was repossessed, friends from my wealthy life disappeared, the woman I'd been dating ended things immediately. I was living in a cheap sublet working retail when I hit absolute bottom. Sitting alone on my 32nd birthday, eating ramen noodles. My phone rang. It was Dad. I almost didn't answer, ashamed of my failure, but I picked up. "Happy birthday, son," he said warmly. "Your mom and I wanted to check in on you. We know things have been tough." "Yeah," I said, voice breaking. "Really tough. We'd like you to come home for a visit. If you need a place to stay while you figure things out, your old room is here." I started crying. Here was the man whose call I'd ignored when he needed $1,200, whose simple life I considered beneath me, and he was offering me exactly what I needed: unconditional support, no judgment, just love. "Dad, I'm so sorry about the property tax thing, about not calling back, about everything. Water under the bridge, son. Come home." I went home to Ohio, moved back into my childhood bedroom. One evening, Dad and I sat on the back porch. "Dad, how are you not angry with me? I had all that money and couldn't spare $1,200 when you needed it." He pulled out his wallet and showed me a worn piece of paper. Proverbs 23 verses 4 and 5. "Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle." "I've kept this verse since I was your age," he said. "Had a period where I chased money, too. Your grandfather taught me what really matters." "What's that?" I asked. "Money comes and goes. Always has, always will. But people, the relationships you build, the character you develop, the love you share, those things last. You lost your money, but you didn't lose yourself. I treated you like you were less important because you had less money," I confessed. "I know," he said, "but I also know who you really are. You're not the arrogant version that money created. You're my son who has always had a good heart, even when success temporarily covered it up. Your heavenly Father offers grace freely. So do I." Over the following months, Dad taught me what real wealth looked like. We volunteered together at a food bank. I saw him treat homeless veterans with more dignity than my wealthy colleagues had shown me at my peak. I rebuilt my life slowly, got a job at a local credit union, and learned to view money as a tool, not a measure of worth. 2 years later, I'm engaged to a wonderful woman I met at church, make a modest income, live simply, and I've never been happier. Because I finally understand. Don't wear yourself out to get rich. Riches sprout wings and fly away. But a father's love? That's eternal. Last month, I surprised my parents by paying off their mortgage, not to show off, because I finally understood that money's only value is in how you use it to love people. My dad cried. Then he pulled out that worn piece of paper again. "Now you understand," he said. "If you're chasing wealth, remember, cast but a glance at riches and they are gone. The people you overlook because they have less might be the very ones who are truly rich." Thanks for watching. Here are today's reflection questions. Have you ever let success or wealth change how you treat the people who matter most? When was the last time you truly talked to someone you love, not just sent money or a quick text, but really connected? Drop your thoughts about the story in the comments below. Your experience might encourage someone else facing the same choice. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories about what truly matters in life.